You found yourself on the final edition of Let 'Em Know Kings United for 2023. And on today's episode, a big fourth quarter and a big-time performance by Andre Drummond gives the Chicago Bulls the win over the Philadelphia 76ers, ending 2023 with a bang, bang, bang. We're going to talk about it right here on Let 'Em Know Kings United.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is that time for the post-game reaction podcast of the Cleveland Cavaliers, Sacramento Kings, and the Chicago Bulls. This is Let 'Em Know Kings United.
Let 'em know, Nation, for the final time in the year of 2023. You already know what time it is. Welcome to another edition of Let 'Em Know Kings United, your Sacramento Kings, Cleveland Cavaliers, and Chicago Bulls post-game reaction podcast. And I'm your host, Skylar Weisberg. Thank you so much for tuning into today's show, the final show in the year of 2023. You can find this show, which is absolutely free and available on Amazon Music, Google Podcast, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Radio Public, Pandora, or wherever else you want to listen to this show. Give the show a follow on those platforms if you can, please. Turn on your notifications so you know about the next episode. Please rate, spread the word out to your friends, and give Let 'Em Know Kings United a 5-star review on every podcast platform you're listening to this on. It is a great way to support the podcast, and I appreciate every single one of you for tuning in. Not just the day one members of Let 'Em Know Nation during the Let 'Em Know Kings era, but any new members of Let 'Em Know Nation that are tuning into this show for the very first time. I thank you for tuning in, regardless of what status of Let 'Em Know Nation you are in. Well, it wasn't a pretty game. It was, for the most part, an ugly game for the Chicago Bulls. But you know what? Ugly wins count too, as the Chicago Bulls took advantage in the fourth quarter and never held back, holding the Philadelphia 76ers to the lowest scoring total that they had all season. 105-92 was the final, as the Chicago Bulls ended the year 2023 with a bang, bang, bang. Now, mind you, this Philadelphia 76ers team were in the second night of a back-to-back. They were coming into this game, winning a gritty game against Houston with no Joel Embiid because he was out with a sprained right ankle. And given the score of the game, I gotta be perfectly honest. I think the Bulls wasted an opportunity to take advantage of the second night of the back-to-back, because I felt at times that the Bulls just let Philadelphia hang around for the most part in this game. Now, granted, we did take advantage in the second half, especially we held or built up, I should say, a big lead in the fourth quarter. But my thing is, when you're facing a team in the second night of a back-to-back, you need to take advantage of the opportunity. And I think the Chicago Bulls failed to do that. I understand that Tyrese Maxey in Philadelphia is just that damn good. I think Philadelphia is still going to be one of those teams that could be playoff dark horses come the NBA playoffs. But for me, if it wasn't for the poor shooting for Philadelphia, or heck, poor shooting for the Chicago Bulls overall, then this game could have been the biggest blowout that I've ever seen this season. Now, granted, the Philadelphia 76ers were without Joel Embiid, and I completely expect Joel Embiid to show up on Tuesday to be ready to go. And oh, by the way, the Bulls are 2-0 this season against the Philadelphia 76ers with one more game coming up on Tuesday. So technically, the Chicago Bulls have won the season series against the Philadelphia 76ers. When was the last time I get to say that? When was the last time the Chicago Bulls won a season series against the Philadelphia 76ers? It feels like an eternity since I said that. We have now an opportunity to sweep the Philadelphia 76ers in the regular season. It won't be easy, though, because I expect Joel Embiid to return from his sprained right ankle in that meeting. But a lot of guys stepped up for Chicago. DeMar DeRozan, he does what he does with 24 points. Kobe White added 20 points. And the Bulls took advantage of NBA MVP Joel Embiid's absence to beat the Philadelphia 76ers in the first game of the home-and-home series and the second night of a back-to-back for Philadelphia. But Andre Drummond, this man is just unbelievable. 15 points and 23 rebounds tonight. He has 63 rebounds over the last few games. That is the highest total for any Chicago Bull rebounding-wise since the worm Dennis Rodman in the 1990s. Like, that is absolutely insane. The Bulls have won 5 of their last 7 and taken both meetings with the Philadelphia 76ers. And they never trailed in the second half. So, I think as far as, like, effort and competition-wise, the first half they let Philadelphia hang around in this game. And I just think the second half, the Bulls came out with more energy, more purpose, especially in the fourth quarter. I felt the fourth quarter was the quarter that Chicago really turned on the intensity and really turned on the energy. When we were leading 91-79 at one point in the fourth, I was like, where the hell has this been all game? I mean, you were without Joel Embiid. You need to take advantage of this. Now, I understand that Tyrese Maxey is one of Philadelphia's best players because if you don't got Joel Embiid for Philadelphia, you obviously need to deal with Tyrese Maxey. He scored 20 points and 7 assists for Philadelphia, so he was going to get theirs. But Chicago turned it up in the fourth quarter with a 13-2 run that turned a 5-point game into a 95-79 lead as DeRozan scored 5 points during that spurt. Kobe White said the season didn't start how we wanted it to start. The Bulls turned in a 9-5 for the month of December to come close to evening out a 4-14 start. Everybody's ready to contribute when the opportunity presents itself. So pretty much the Bulls got off to one of the slowest starts that I've ever seen in my life. Okay? But I feel like as the season is going on, the Bulls are constantly improving. They might get a play-in spot the way they're playing right now, but at the end of the day, I will take any improvement that we get. Andre Drummond is seeing increasing playing time with starting center Nikola Vucevic out with a growing injury, but he helped the Bulls rebound or out-rebound the Philadelphia 76ers in a big way. 53-36 was the rebounding number. Wow. Just wow. And at one point, Terry Taylor, the backup center, got an offensive rebound and a putback because we outworked the Philadelphia 76ers on the glass. That is just outstanding. That is outstanding by the Chicago Bulls. The way we're playing right now, we can compete with anybody. I don't really like the defensive spurts that we've done, but if we continue to out-rebound players like this, we can compete with anybody. Now, I understand that Tuesday might be a challenge, right? Because Joel Embiid, the MVP, is probably going to be back, and Andre Drummond will probably not have an easier game than he had last night. But if Andre Drummond continues to step up, maybe Chicago could take that momentum that they have right now into this second game of the home and home and an opportunity to season sweep. Nick Nurse said it was difficult. It's a difficult road trip without Joel the whole way. Hey, after his team finished a 4-game trip with the MVP, we're glad we got out of it 2-2. You could argue that it should have been a 1-3, maybe an 0-4, because without Joel Embiid, the 76ers, they're not the same team. You still have Tyrese Maxey, though, but it's the same thing. But I got to tell you something. The turnovers, that is disgraceful. That was one part of the Chicago Bulls win last night that I found really disappointing. We finished with 16 turnovers tonight. And Billy Donovan doubted that Nikola Vucevic won't be ready to return on Tuesday. But that's to be expected. As far as Zach LaVine, he missed 15 straight games. He said LaVine could resume practice as early as next week. So, for all of you saying that Zach LaVine needs to be traded, I think he's going to play a couple of games in a Chicago Bulls uniform. And here's why. He needs to get his trade value up. Because very recently, Toronto made a trade to send OG Anunoby, a 3-and-D guy, to the New York Knicks. Now, if you're a Sacramento Kings fan, you probably might be thinking, damn, we wasted an opportunity to get a 3-and-D to replace Harrison Barnes. Now, sure, you might still get Pascal Siakam, but I think Sacramento missed an opportunity for OG Anunoby. But Billy Donovan said about the 16 turnovers, we weren't that great in the first quarter with 6 turnovers. But as the game went on, we got better. And it did get better for Chicago. It wasn't pretty. 16 turnovers is absolutely disgraceful. Thank God that the Philadelphia 76ers did not shoot the ball well, because if they did and take advantage of the 16 turnovers that we had, we're going to be totally talking about a different story to close out 2023. But all credit to the Chicago Bulls for taking advantage, especially in the second half and the fourth quarter especially, and they got a win to finish 2023 strong. Shout out to DeMar DeRozan for hitting the 2 freaking small over Patrick Beverley. Like, that was classic, bro. That was classic DeMar DeRozan right there. The Bulls shot 50% from the field, 39% for the Philadelphia 76ers. Both teams really struggle for the three-point line. Both teams, for the most part, struggle for the free throw line, 73% compared to 60%. But the rebounds was the big story, 53-36 in favor of the Bulls. The assists, 24-21 in favor of Philadelphia. The steals were 12-5 in favor of Philadelphia 76ers. The turnovers, 17 turnovers to 8 for Philadelphia. 15 or 18 points were allowed off turnovers by Chicago compared to 13. So I guess you could say that Philadelphia was the more disciplined team with the basketball, despite the fact that they didn't shoot the lights out of the gym. The points in the paint, 62-46 in favor of Chicago. Andre Drummond was a big part of that. The fast break points were 15-8 in favor of the Philadelphia 76ers. DeMar DeRozan, he continues to show why that Compton's in the house. He finished with 24 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. He was a plus-minus, a +19. Andre Drummond, he continues to show why then he needs to be a starter. No disrespect to Nikola Vucevic, but I am more confident with Andre Drummond as a starter than Vuce right now. Drummond needs to stay out of foul trouble because he got 4 personal fouls. But still, you're getting a rebounder and a proven starter in this league, and that's all that matters. He finished with 15 points, 3 blocks, 2 steals, 2 assists. But here's the big thing for me: 20 rebounds. or 23 rebounds. I'm sorry, he had 20 defensive rebounds. 23 rebounds overall. That's crazy stuff. Kobe White, 20 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists on the night. He was 1 for 5 from three-point range. You got to find that three-point stroke, my guy. I think you're still in the hunt for the most improved player, but it won't be easy for you to get it. Alex Caruso, 14 points, 5 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, 2 rebounds. He was 4 for 7 from the field, 3 for 5 from three-point range. And Patrick Williams, he continues to develop in a big way. 13 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. He was a plus-minus, a plus 13. Every single starter was a positive in the plus-minus for Chicago. Patrick Williams was a plus 13. D-Roll was a plus 19. Drummond plus 16, Kobe White plus 10, Alex Caruso plus 19. As far as the Philadelphia 76ers, Tyrese Maxey, he did well, 20 points, 7 rebounds, 1 assist. Tobias Harris, 15 points, with 7 rebounds and 4 assists. Oubre Jr., 11, 5 and 2. Paul Reed with 11 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 4 steals. But unlike the Chicago Bulls that had every single starter in the plus-minus with a positive, Philadelphia was a negative. Minus 20 for Tobias Harris. Minus 7 for Paul Reed. Minus 12 for Tyrese Maxey, despite the fact he had a good game. Minus 11 for Oubre Jr. and minus 17 for Melton. The only one that was positive was Nick Batum off the bench with 9 points, 3 for 5 from three-point range. All credit to the Bulls. They took advantage of poor shooting for Philadelphia. It wasn't pretty. It was ugly, but ugly wins count the same as the Bulls ended the 2023 calendar year with a bang, bang, bang. That's going to do it for the final edition of Let 'Em Know Kings United for 2023. I hope you enjoyed all the shows that we've had this year, and I hope everybody had fun listening to the show as I do have fun recording this show. And you can find it, which is free and available on Amazon Music, Google Podcast, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Radio Public, Pandora, or wherever you get this podcast. Give the show a follow on those platforms. Turn on your notifications so you know about the next episode. Please rate, spread the word out to your friends, and give Let 'Em Know Kings United a 5-star review on whatever podcast platform you're listening to this on. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm your host, Skylar Weisberg. Happy New Year, everybody. Enjoy it with your family and friends. And please, please, be safe out there when you go out and party. I will see you guys right back here for another edition of Let 'Em Know Kings United. And the next time you'll hear from me, it will be 2024.